This is more information I want to talk about the U.S. Army .mil website right here. Leaders emphasize importance of human domain as Army plans for future. This is an article, like I said, from the Army.mil website. It is fitting that on the 10th year anniversary of the Iraq War, the Army gathered joint force partners, civilian military experts, and foreign military representatives to analyze the lessons learned from the more than a decade of war to help guide the service transition to an army of preparation. It goes on to say that the Army senior leaders gathered at the National Defense University on Fort McNair for the 2013 campaign of Learning Senior Leaders Seminar, an event hosted by the Army Chief of Staff, Ray Ordiano, to plan for the Army's future, facilitate discussion among top military experts, and capture lessons learned from several years of war. The U.S. Army has been fighting a war for the last 12, 13 years. It learned a lot. So this is one of the quotes here. The central feature of the last 10 years of war is the importance of the human domain, said General Robert W. Cohn, Commanding General of the U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command, which is called TRADOC. Quote, "We paid to learn the language, culture, tribes, and fidelity in terms of networking targeting. We must put in place structural imperatives so that we ensure we learn those lessons and add them to our doctrine." Recognizing the Army's transition to an army of preparation, senior leaders discussed the value of the Army as a member of the joint force. Despite the rapid evolution of technology, the Army's key contribution to the joint force is its influence on the human domain. There are two big ideas, the human domain and the human dimension, said Major General Bill Hicks, TRADOC's director of the Concept Development and Learning Directorate. Quote, "Human domain is strategic and land power and influencing the operating environment. We must stay engaged to the environment. The human dimension is optimizing our capital investment, which is people. Our soldiers need to be regionally engaged and globally responsive." So here the human domain is strategic land power influencing the operating environment. They're going to use software, they're going to use technology to influence when they get ready to invade into a town, telling people to, drop their weapons or whatever and just take over the town without firing a single shot. This is the purpose of the human domain, trying to master the human domain, as the Jade Helm documents reveal. A key topic of the SLS centered on a recently conducted winter war game simulation where a state with nuclear weapons collapsed. Senior leaders used this simulation to ask key questions and solicit input from more than 100 joint and multinational military leaders and civilian subject matter experts. Lieutenant General Keith C. Walker, TRADOC's Deputy Commanding General of Futures and Director of the Army Capabilities Integration Center, used the simulation to evaluate the challenges of complex problems where the discerning soldier, as a critical part of the joint force, must secure and control territory to meet national objectives. The Army, Marines, and Special Operations Forces give combatant commanders a discriminate capability that other joint capabilities do not provide, Walker said, reiterating the importance of land power. And this land power he's talking about, folks, he's talking about the Strategic Land Power Task Force. It makes up of the Army, the Marines, and Special Operational Forces. It's called the Strategic Land Power Task Force. Now, Hicks added, the key point is that you need to control and influence key populations. Do you see that? You need to control and influence key populations. In the winter war game scenario, it was about strategically maneuvering to gain access to understand the situation. Because the soldier is the indispensable unit of the Army, its leaders emphasize the importance of leadership, development, and soldier training during this time of transition. Quote, "The Army spends roughly 50% of its budget on human capital, and we must get out of it as much as possible." Cohn added that although technology is important, the human domain is critical. We will constantly seek a technology advantage, Cohn said, but what is behind technology is the human will. War will always be fundamentally a human struggle. So it says up here, they want to control, secure, and control the territory. and they want to influence it also. So they're going to use, software. They're going to use people, agents, people who are going to cooperate with the military, people who are going to cooperate with the government, and get things moving. This is a very important document. Like I said, I'll leave a link down below, army.mil. Leaders emphasize importance of human domain as Army plans for future. So check this article out, study it. I did do an article. I did a video just a few minutes ago about the another document about the Jade Helm and mastering the human domain. Make sure you check that video out and download the documents and go ahead and read up on it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to get a hold of me, you can. And thank you for watching.